How's it going, everyone? My name is Phoenix Hunter and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we are back playing some Europa Universalis, but this time on update 1.36 Byzantium. In this last update they gave some new content for the Middle East. The Mamluks, the Koyunalus, the Persia region, even the Caucasians and Arabia. But today we are playing a nation that didn't get any of that. The Timurids. Actually, I take that back. A really big update was that they changed the color of Fars. Why do you keep doing this, Paradox? Why do you keep doing it? Anyway, today we are playing the Timurids, primarily because they're one of my most favorite campaigns in the game, and I've been trying to get a good campaign going, so I figured why not record me suffering through this amazing nation. Yay! So yes, that is why I decided we shall play the Timurids. I'm not going to play Iron Man mode for a very specific reason. The reason why I do not play Iron Man mode when I play the Timurids is primarily because once this guy dies, all of our vassals will rebel, and I really hate dealing with RNG, and if I play Iron Man mode, I'm going to be restarting so many times, and I'm actually going to pull my hair out, so it's not fun. And frankly, all these games are about having fun, and these videos are about me showing you guys me having fun. Even if I'm not playing in the fairway, even if I have to use the console commands, because yes, the console is enabled. But hey, it is all in the name of having fun. We're going to start this fun playthrough by giving the amirs strong duchies, and by giving the Ikta lenient taxation, so that way we can complete this mission, and with it we'll be able to placate some of these guys if we need to. And so next we're going to give the religious state primacy and land of commerce. We're going to summon the Diet and seize land. I'm going to take this agenda because it gives us prestige, and we'll be needing a decent amount of prestige for what we want to do. To that end, we're going to give patronage of the arts and a couple of loans. And next up, we're also going to give religious diplomats and grant a residence to a scholar, and we're going to take the AE guy, and then we're not going to give any more privileges to these guys for the time being. Next, we're going to go in here and invite the Hanbali guy, because that AE impact will be really good. The next, we're going to go in here and click any button that gives us mysticism, which is pretty much all of them. And we start at negative mysticism, which we want this to go negative so that we can get the idea cost and the morale of armies. Later on we'll be giving the negative piety. So the next thing we're going to do is placate these guys twice, so that way they're at below 50 the liberty desire, and that way no one will support their independence. Then we're going to tell these guys to siege. Next thing we're going to do, get our rifles. We're gonna rifle Ajam, the Mamluks, and Delhi. I don't know what they did, but I hate them for it. Next thing we're gonna do is move all of our armies right here. And then we're also going to hire 3 advisors. This guy's half cost, this guy is half cost, and we also got a morale guy. That is really good. And then we're also going to lower army maintenance. Now, another thing we're going to do is improve relations with a couple of our vassals. We want to improve relations as fast as we can and as early as we can. Now, with all that set up out of the way, we are going to speed forward till December 11th. It is December 11th, and we are going to declare war immediately on Ajam for our conquest of our core, let's say Tehran. Another thing that we got to do before I forget is royal marriage all of our vassals. So pretty much the main strategy for this war is to let all of our vassals do the work, to let them deplete their manpower, so that way our vassals get more loyal because they don't have the manpower or the troops, while we just sit here in our capital and just do nothing. So one particular nation we'll want to set a special policy for is Transoxiana. We'll want to set them for aggressive, so that way they will actively seek out engagements. Okay, this is what I was talking about when I said I didn't like RNG. I was barely a few months into the game and Shahrukh is already dead. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reload. Ideally, we'd want to fight before we let this guy die. There we go. Now that our vassal's troops are significantly trained, now we can start the real fun. I'm gonna hire the free company, and I'm also gonna hire this guy because of the good general. Then I'm going to raise army maintenance, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and delete this stack. Now let's take the battle to these guys. Give our heir military command. We don't really care if he dies. Yeah, and then we're just gonna siege these guys down. So this war is basically won, but they still have a decent amount of troops, so we can't let my small stacks get caught out alone. I'm gonna send a small detachment up to help siege down Shervan. Alright, it appears that this guy will be willing to white piece us. We don't really want anything from these guys. We can also go ahead and take all 3 of these techs at once. That's actually a really good deal. Instant 12 innovativeness. So now this war should be all won. Let's see what we can take from these guys. Yep, we can take basically all of our cores back, which is what we need, and for very little aggressive expansion, I might add. Just like that, there it is, our first war won. Now let's go ahead and state all this stuff up, and we didn't have to core any of it. Just like that, our core land has basically doubled, and none of our vassals are disloyal. So we do have one more target of conquest, and that is Baluchistan, which is why I've been building up a spy network on them, so we can just go here, XC, XC, claims. But before we do that, we're going to want to get our armies into position and click a couple of buttons. We'll want to set new rivals. In this case, will be the Ottomans and the Karakayunalus. And then we're also going to want to go into these new provinces that we've conquered and lower their autonomy. Because they were reconquered cores, they start with really low autonomy, but not 0, and we can instantly lower them. And with the autonomy lowered and the provinces conquered, we are now up to 11% crown land. So in that case, we'll give out the rest of our privileges. Now we're going to finish up our estates by giving the ulema freedom of interpretation, clerical education, oversight by the ulema. Then we're going to give these guys increased levies and supremacy. Then we're going to give these guys, actually we're not going to give them the trade power one yet, and then we're going to give them the tax one, and then we're going to give the Dhimmi religious unity and promoted Dhimmi nobles. That's going to be our estate setup for now. Alright, now that everything is all set, now we are going to declare this next war. I don't think it's worth co-belligerate any of these guys, or any of these guys is for that matter. Okay, we got the Prospering Times event. I think that we might as well go for the production one. So it looks like these guys are having a problem with rebels, so we should be able to easily white piece them. As for Mahara, we're probably gonna have to send over a little expeditionary force. So these guys aren't willing to accept full annexation just yet. We technically can walk through these guys, but these guys aren't gonna let us because of their superior navy. Oh no, our heir died. Oh well, that's actually a way better heir than our previous one. Alright, with this crushing defeat, the Maharans are not willing to accept a white peace. Okay, fair enough. So we'll just have to carpet siege them. And there it is. We can even take some money. Now let's go for the full annexation of these bad boys and send our boys back home. Boom, just like that. I'm gonna go ahead and actually I'm gonna do something before I concentrate this development. So a little while ago, the Renaissance spawned, and it's not gonna spread to us naturally for a very long time, so we need to spawn it ourselves. So to do that, I'm going to go over here to our capital of Herat, encourage development, and I'm just going to try to spawn it here, and making sure to expand infrastructure, because this is a really good button to click. Alright, we're almost there, and there's Renaissance, and we can immediately embrace it. Okay, so I have a pretty good idea for a big war. So my plan involves hiring these guys because yes, they are level 4, and then I got the state agenda to attack these guys these guys are guaranteed by QQ. We can co-belligerate Mazandran, and we can co-belligerate QQ, and we can co-belligerate Gilan, and we can co-belligerate Ardabil. And then, simply put, we'll have a lot of people to conquer, and we'll be able to expand by a significant amount in a short period of time. And frankly, I'm all for it. So yeah, let's just get this war started. Alright, for our first government reform, I think I'm gonna go strengthen. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for strengthen noble privileges, because we need that manpower. Early on, manpower is really good. Oh, and just as I declared this war, we got the death of Shah Rukh. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna recall all of these diplomats. Now, it's important we do this before the month ticks over, so we're going to go for a royal marriage with everyone, with every single one of our vassals. And then we're going to click this event. The reason why is because it's only after you click that event do the attitudes get updated. So in this case, since they all love me and I got royal marriages with them, they're all still loyal, and they should stay loyal for the foreseeable future. Alright, stack wipe these guys' army. Not quite a stack wipe, but this one for sure will be. Yes. So will these guys let us annex them? They will. First nation to fall, and these guys are fallen as well. Alright, so for our next target, definitely should be Ardabil. So that's a mountain. I am not going to take that engagement. Let's try and take a couple of engagements on some more favorable terrain. This should be another stack wipe. Yep. Allowing us to full annex Ardabil, however you want to pronounce it. That's a very risky engagement that you decide to take. Actually, that was a very good engagement. I'm going to retreat out of that. There's another nation out of the war, so now it's just Karakoyunlu and Mushasha. I think I'm going to go ahead and just rush this fort, mainly so that we can get it faster and deal with these guys down here while we're at it. The Ming announced us as a rival. I am so scared. Alright, so these guys are running low on manpower. I still have plenty, and I have mercs. So this war should be won at any moment. For our first stage of age ability, I think I'm gonna go for Justified Wars. Okay, it seems like my ideas for this war are gonna have to be sort of cut down because the Mamluks joined. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to settle for this peace deal. Don't worry, I'll fix the borders later. Alright, looks like these guys are willing to accept a full annexation, and so that is what I shall take. There we go. So now we are in a regency, so we can't declare any wars for a while, which is actually good because that means we can spend this time to consolidate our realm. So long term, we will want to make friends with some of these guys in India. So I'm going to ally some of these guys down here. I'm going to go ahead and disband these merc companies since they're out of manpower. So for this part of the game, I think I'm going to focus on admin to shore up all of our administrative woes. Now it is 1463. We could have done this a lot earlier, but I was kind of preoccupied, so I did it. We're going to integrate this stand first, which is going to take about 2 years, and then we're also going to immediately start the integration of Khorasan and Fars, since they have the least improved relations, while also giving out the Amir's policy. Just like that, they're instantly integrated, and we're probably going to need to improve some relations with Afghanistan before they are willing to accept. And of course we're going to state all these bad boys up, and we're also going to lower autonomy. Please do not forget to lower autonomy in these guys. And now with these guys at the required relations, we're now going to annex these guys as well as these guys, and they should almost be done instantly. Oh, okay, for some reason I thought that Afghanistan was going to be instant. I guess not. So another thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find some more vassals. Medina could be a pretty good one. So it's Sherivan and Gazikumuk. That's pretty good, actually. So yeah, let's go for it. So another thing that I want to do is I want to kind of add as many provinces to trade companies as I can. For me, I typically just go for like anything that's outside of my subcontinent and outside of trade nodes within my subcontinent. I don't know if it makes any sense, but that's just the way I like to do it. But yeah, it's just weird like that. And there's the Medina vassal, and there's Afghanistan integrated, and we're pretty close to having Sherivan as our vassal as well. Oh wow, that is a giant Oman and a potential target of conquest. Yes, they're allied to the Mamluks, but I don't care. I mean, look at all these cores. Okay, so we just got this event for a new ruler, and I think I'm gonna take him. Okay, so that's just a new regent. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, it looks like we're slightly over our governing capacity. I'm gonna give these guys some land rights, so that way we can state up and we won't suffer from the admin efficiency debuffs. There's the Sherivan vassal, and shortly after, once these guys peace out, we'll be able to get Gazikumuk as a vassal as well. Alright, so that is a really good heir. That is a really, really good heir. Now this guy's in charge, so now let's do all the right things. So now our next step should be to attack these guys. Nice. Because we still have a core on a jam, and with this we'll be able to complete a couple more missions. Until then, I'm going to be building a brand new fleet for our incursion into Hormuz. Let's look at their fleets. Okay, so they only have light ships. So that means if we build a couple of galleys, we should be able to completely destroy the Hormuz fleet. And then after that, we'll build a couple of lights. Alright, so with that, let's declare this war, and let's take out these guys. 3 siege? That's a really good leader. Wait a minute. Byzantium is still alive? Oh, the Knights must have had their Byzantine rebels. Yeah, that can happen sometimes. Yeah, because of that is dragging this war out for much longer. Hopefully we can still vassalize them even after this. Alright. All these sieges are over. Now let's get these peace deals all done and dusted. Just like that. Yes, sir. Okay, so now we have a mission here that will give us some core creation costs for the next couple of years. I'm gonna save that for once we conquer some of these rich Indian lands. And yeah, because that's gonna be really useful for later on. So the strat for this Hormuz war is that I'm going to place my fleet right here, which won't allow them to get off, because this is where all their troops are. And then pretty much I'm just going to focus on just sieging down the Mamluks. I don't want to weaken them up too much, because if they do, the Ottomans will just swoop in and just kill them, and I really don't want that. But yeah, so that's going to be the plan for this first war. Okay, and it looks like the Ottomans went quality. That's actually good, because if the Ottomans go quantity, this game's over. All the armies are in place, so now let us declare the old war. And we got a break in the walls, so that's going to help us really good. Alright, so for our next government reform, I think I'm going to go expanded royal court. Okay, so we have a tech advantage over the Mamluks, so this should be a fairly... No, but we're engaging in the mountains. We don't want to take that fight if we don't have to. Alright, so now let's take this engagement with the Mamluks. So now, let's see if these guys, they are not willing to peace out. That's unfortunate. So these guys are close to accepting a white peace. Let's see how long that lasts. For our first idea group, we're going to take aristocratic. Alright, with the Mamluks capital taken, yeah, let's take a little bit of money from them. Little money never hurt. Now let's see if these guys won't accept the peace deal that I have in mind. We'll vassalize them, and then we'll make them revoke all of our cores on us. Okay, it doesn't look like they're super willing to accept it, but in time they will. And then we're going to use all that money that we got from the Mamluks to build a couple of buildings, like some of these trade buildings. And then we're going to give these guys the trading privilege. We're not going to worry about their influence for now. Okay, so now here's the question. Do we take anything from these guys? Nah, I don't think we should. We're just gonna beat up their armies and I guess make them delete some of these alliances. And I'm just gonna make them delete some of these alliances and give us war reps and all that good stuff. So that way maybe some other country will nip in and take them. Right, which leads us now to do our main peace deal, which will be to vassalize these guys, make them revoke all their cores, and take all their money that we can get. And just like that, we have a route of expansion into these guys. And then almost immediately, we're just going to declare on these guys. For our next age ability, we're going to get the war taxes. Another one of my most favorite parts of this update. What you do is you click on a province, you hold shift, and then it will multiple select them. You press Z, and then you can just transfer them all. That's such a good update, and I love it so much. So with this, we're just going to give all this stuff to Hormuz, primarily because I am struggling with government capacity right now, and I don't want to deal with it. So the other thing that I'm going to want to deal with is with all these rebels that are plaguing me now. Now the time of peace and stability begins. Time of peace, stability, and centralization. Well, unfortunately, that's where I'm going to have to leave you guys. We weren't able to do as much as I wanted to do this game, but hey, we expanded. We are basically the #1 global power. We're more powerful than the Ottomans, so maybe that we should use that as a basis to start attacking them. But who knows? We'll figure out in the next episode. Or maybe in the next episode, we'll go form the Mughals. I don't know. But either way, if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really means so much to me if you guys will do those things. And please share this video with your friends. Anywho, that's all for me, Phoenix Hunter. Have a good evening, or day, or whatever. Goodbye!